Hello friends, welcome to Humzabaan, your go-to destination for learning Urdu. My name is Tanzeel Rahman. In a previous lesson, we looked at the Urdu alphabet. We went through each alphabet, we understood the shape of the alphabet, we looked at the name of the alphabet, and we also looked at the sound of the alphabet. We also explored some of the things or objects and the words which start with that particular alphabet. Now today, we'll try and look slightly more detailed in those alphabets in terms of their groupings, how we could group them together. In Urdu, we can group them based on their shapes because many of them have a similar shape. And also we can group them on their sounds because many of them have similar sounds, even though their shapes are different. Both are important. If you understand their grouping based on shape, it's easier for you to read them, understand. And if you know how they have a similar sound but different shapes, you can also understand when you're writing it. And we'll be focused in terms of which words start with which particular letter. So both of these are important. Let's look at the groups from a shape point of view. If you see on the screen, Aleph remains standalone. It doesn't have any other family members per se. But if you look at another one, which we go to the another one, which goes Be. Now, if you try and group them based on the shape, there are at least 4 more letters similar to Be. There is another one, but we have not kept it here, which is Fe, which is also similar in shape, but we have kept it as part of a different group. But you can see that on the Be has different close cousins. The difference is basically how the noktas are placed, the number of noktas, and also some of the special letters, right? So if we focus back on Be, you will see, for example, Be has this flat structure and it has got single nokta here, right? Which makes, and you can distinguish it as a Be. Be, on the other hand, has 3 noktas below. Similar shape, but 3 noktas. Te has 2 noktas, but on top. Te has a special symbol to say it is Te. And Se has 3 noktas on top. So similar shape, but placement of a number of noktas, and also the number of noktas and the placement of noktas create the different sounds. Now this is Be group. Similar to the Be group, we can have another group which is called Jeem group. Now, if you would see Jeem, the shapes are all same. I related a story last time about the shape of Jeem. And if you see here, there are similars. You have Jeem, you have Che, you have Jeem, which has got a single nokta. You have Che, you have He, and you have He. So Jeem with a single nokta inside, Che with 3 noktas inside, He without any nokta, and He with a single nokta on top, right? So this is Jeem group. Similar to the Jeem group, we will also have Dal group. And again, you will find the similar shapes in Dal group as well. You have Dal, and you have Dal, and you also have Zal. And Dal doesn't have any nokta or any special symbol. Dal has got a special symbol on top, and Zal has got a nokta on top, right? So this is another way to categorize these. You would also, if we move to another group, we have another group called Re group. Re group has got 4 letters. If you see, again, the shapes are all similar, the one that you see on your screen, but we have Re without any nokta or a special symbol. We have got Re, and Re has got a special symbol. If you would see here, there's a special symbol. And then Ze has got a nokta, and J has got 3 noktas on top. So again, the placement of nokta can make different sounds: Re, Re, Ze, and J, right? Similarly, if we move over, you will find we have got Seen group. The base shape remains same, but noktas make it this one as Seen, and it makes this one as Sheen. For example, if you could see here, this one is making it Sheen. So you would have both a Seen and Sheen coming. Similarly, if we go and see, you have got Saad and Zad. Now, see, their shapes are similar, but we have a nokta for Zod, which makes it a different sound. And obviously, as Zod doesn't have any nokta. You have got Toe group, which will have To and Zo, and both Zo has got a nokta. I think we have a nokta missing, but Zoe would have a nokta, while Toe doesn't have any nokta. And that nokta makes them different. You have An and Ran. An has got, there's no nokta on An, and Ran has got a nokta on top, again making the sound different, but they're part of the same group. Similarly, you will see Fe and Qaf. Similar shapes. Fe is slightly more flattened. Qaf is slightly more round. Fe has got 1 nokta, Qaf has got 2 nokta. We have got Kaf and Gaf, very similar. The only thing is Gaf has got just 1 more sort of a dash more than what is there in Kaf. And that distinguishes the 2 letters. letters, and their sounds become completely different. You have lam group, which has got lam and meme, different. We have just grouped them together. They may not necessarily be very similar, but we've grouped them together as they stand next to each other. In noon group, this is an important one. In noon group, we have got noon, but we also have a noon which is without nukta. We call this noon-e gunna or silent noon. It can be used where you don't use a n sound, but kind of, for example, jahan or jan, or in this, the end is noon-e gunna. Jan or asma, that is noon-e gunna. So that's another part of the same group. You have vav group. We've just kept vav. There's no other letter which is part of this. Then we have he group. We had badi he in jim, but the choti he and the chashmi he are part of the he group. And we have got hamza, which is again standalone. And we have got ye group, which has got choti ye and badi ye. That's how we group. The idea is for you to make it, understand it better based on their shapes, how there are similar shapes for different letters, right? So that's one part of it. There's another part of it which is usually considered slightly confusing when people are trying to understand the Urdu script, is that different letters seemingly have similar sound. And we will go through some of those. Now, if you look at it, many of them have Arabic origin, and in Arabic, their sounds are actually different. They are similar, but they're still very different. In Urdu, when we speak, sometimes those sounds look very similar. For example, we have two letters. One is alif and the other is ain. Now, when I'm saying ain, is slightly different. But when we speak in Urdu, many times we use both to represent the sound a. Obviously, words will be very different, right? So, for example, ain we can use for anak, and alif we can use for Allah, right? So those, the pronunciations are different. The way the sound comes from is different, but both can, for sake of simplicity, we can say represent the a sound. Similarly, you will find the sound. We have the letter te that we see as part of the be group, and we have letter toe, which is part of the toe group. Now, both of them have similar sound as the. Obviously, in reality, the words would be different for starting with te and starting with toe. Similarly, sir sound. There are three different letters: se, seen, and swad. All three of them different looking, but have similar sound. Now, again, the real sounds are slightly different, but for the sake of simplicity, we can consider all three of them representing sir sound. You will look at her sound, for example. The he, which is part of Jim group, and choti he and the chashmi he, all of them in some way have her sound, but they are different, and there are different words which start with these letters or end with these letters, right? So this is again for our understanding. Now, z sound is a slight bit confusing. I think we have zal, we have J, we have Z, and we have got Zod, and we have got Zoe. Now, all of them have similar sounds. They all have them Z sound with slight variations, but sometimes this can become confusing. Which word should start from Zal versus which word should start from Z? But for our understanding, we should understand that these letters can represent, which is Zal, J, Z, Zod, and Zoe, right? So these are the various classifications that we may have for grouping letters in Urdu. Idea was for you to understand that what are the similar shapes, and also to understand what are the different similar sounding letters. Now you can go back to the app. You have these groupings defined in more details. We have quizzes, and you can use that to better understand it. Thank you for your time. Keep learning. Look forward to see you again.